After countless missions, ships, and crews, there's still so much to discover.
It's impossible.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Star Trek Discovery facts.
This place is even better than Leningrad.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at interesting trivia regarding the CBS All Access series. Those spoilers are pretty unlikely. If you're the type who doesn't want to know anything at all until it unfolds, well then yellow alert and ready shields.
Disclose the information.
Number 10, the captain isn't the focus. From Kirk to Janeway, a strong starship captain has typically been at the center of Star Trek. This show will be told from a different perspective, however, focusing instead on First Officer Michael Burnham, played by Sonequa Martin Green.
I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save all of you.
Referred to as number 1, this is a reference mostly to a female character of the same name from the original Star Trek pilot, The Cage, but is also the nickname of Next Gen Second-in-Command, Commander William Riker.
I've been assigned to serve this ship and to obey your orders, and I will do exactly that.
Discovery will thus stand out as the first Star Trek series to revolve around a lieutenant commander, boldly going where the franchise has never gone before. Number 9, familiar faces will appear in time.
Live long and prosper.
While Star Trek Discovery will follow a crew comprised of original characters, a few fan favorites could still beam up somewhere down the line. Co-creator Bryan Fuller opened up about the possibility of seeing characters from the original series mingle in, and explained that the first season would primarily be dedicated to developing a new cast and building the show's identity. Season 2, however, will be open to more familiar faces. Fuller in particular expressed interest in bringing Amanda Grayson, Spock's human mother, into the fold. Could that also mean we'll meet a young Mr. Spock?
I am not programmed to respond in this area.
Oh, that's quite understandable.
Number 8, it's set 10 years before the original series.
It had you too.
Fortunately, my ancestors spawned in another ocean than yours did. My blood salts are quite different.
10 years before Kirk, Spock, and the Enterprise, there was Discovery. This tagline asserts up front that Discovery will be another Star Trek prequel series. Speaking with CNN in 2016, Bryan Fuller said that the show would, quote, bridge the gap between Enterprise and the original series, which are separated by about 150 years.
Doesn't seem like a very fair trade to me.
Of course, given the tighter gap between Discovery and the original series, Kirk and company actually exist during this show's time, meaning we could see new actors play classic-era mainstays. But then again, time travel is a staple of this franchise, meaning a William Shatner cameo is not out of the question.
I said to him, you know you're old when you go back in time and you're still old.
Number 7, Rainn Wilson plays Harry Mudd.
What does it say under martial arts training? Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to supplement that. Could I have your fax number?
As Dwight Schrute on The Office, Rainn Wilson portrayed a character obsessed with Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, and sci-fi in general. Plus, one of Wilson's earliest roles was in Galaxy Quest, a satire that obviously borrowed a few pages from Star Trek. Given his resume and his comedy chops, it's fitting that Wilson landed the role of Harry Mudd in Star Trek Discovery. Originally played by Roger C. Carmel, Mudd was a slick con man who hassled Kirk in the original and animated series. With just 3 classic appearances to compete with, Wilson's take could be as fresh as the first bite into a newly grown beet.
Wow, I need this beat right now. Those are the money beats.
Number 6, the ship is based on a 1970s design. Before Star Trek the Motion Picture hit cinemas, there were plans for a different but ultimately scrapped film, entitled Star Trek: Planet of the Titans.
It would seem our friendship messages have been received and understood, Mr. Spock.
For this project, Ralph McQuarrie had developed concept designs for a revamped Enterprise. His unused art was later considered for the Star Trek Phase 2 television series, but that project and his designs were also scrapped. The Enterprise's eventual big screen retrofit stuck close to its small screen form, but nearly 40 years on, McQuarrie's designs became the basis for the USS Discovery and are finally ready to enter warp. Number 5. It'll feature a new alien race.
My people were biologically determined for one purpose alone, to sense the coming of death.
Of all the diverse characters aboard the USS Discovery, Lieutenant Saru just might be the most distinct. Serving as science officer, Saru belongs to an alien species that was specifically created for the show. The man behind Saru is Doug Jones, an actor who's featured as Billy Butcherson in Hocus Pocus, Abe Sapien in the Hellboy films, and multiple creatures in Pan's Labyrinth. In other words, he's used to wearing makeup. Jones expressed excitement about developing a character and species from the ground up. A character with no baggage and no fan expectations to meet.
Which I'm tickled pink about, that I get to, from the ground up, help develop and find this character and his species and what we're all about.
Number 4. James Frain plays Spock's father. While the jury's still out on an appearance from Mr. Spock, actor James Frain does have a significant role as Spock's father, Sarek. Frain will portray a younger version of the Vulcan astrophysicist, who was previously played by Mark Leonard in the original series, films, and even The Next Generation.
Your efforts will no longer be required.
Ben Cross, meanwhile, took over the role for J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot, leaving Frain with some big shoes to fill. Given Frain's strong work in shows like True Blood and Orphan Black, though, this seems like a most logical casting choice.
Pleasure first, business second, remember?
Number 3. It's called Discovery for a reason. This franchise has always been about exploring strange new worlds and seeking out new life. But that's not the only reason why this series is called Discovery. The name is also a reference to the Discovery 1 spacecraft from 2001: A Space Odyssey, as well as the real-life space shuttle Discovery.
3 weeks ago, the American spacecraft Discovery 1 left on its half-billion-mile voyage to Jupiter.
The real Discovery marked several firsts for NASA, most notably hosting the first female shuttle pilot, Eileen Collins. On top of all that, the designation for the Space Shuttle Discovery was OV-103, whereas this ship in the series will have the rather fitting designation of NCC-1031. Fascinating. Number 2. It's set in the Prime universe. When Star Trek was rebooted in 2009, it introduced an alternate reality now known as the Kelvin timeline. We won't be seeing Chris Pine or Zachary Quinto in Discovery, though, as the story here will take place in the Prime universe, a timeline that consists of all the previous Star Trek series.
I can assure you that a third party must have been involved.
During the early development stages, Brian Fuller and company designed the show so that it could function in either universe. In the end, however, the creators decided that setting Discovery in the Prime timeline would provide more freedom, as they wouldn't have to keep up with what's going on in the movies.
The purpose is to experience fear. Fear in the face of certain death.
Number 1. It's costing a bundle to produce. As far as the most expensive shows currently on TV go, Star Trek Discovery is aiming to give Game of Thrones and The Crown a run for their money. Reports indicate that CBS is spending between $6 and $7 million per episode, with Season 1 consisting of 15 installments, pricing things at around $105 million. While the early 21st century Star Trek films had even higher price tags, this is still a huge investment for a TV series.
Computer, enable igniter.
Nevertheless, the network seems confident that the show will attract more subscribers to CBS All Access, and that it will help the streaming video on demand service engage.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.